Hi, Pastor Brian here with your Thriving Through Hope devotional on how to lead better in your home, work, and church. What do you do when you don't know what to do? I remember a time shortly after I stepped away from being a youth pastor in a local church to serve our network office in 190 churches when I received a phone call from a friend who also happened to be a parent who wanted to meet with us right away. Now, I knew that this was not the kind of request that you could postpone, and I agreed to meet with them right away. Well, our friends drove 120 miles to meet with us. And when they arrived with their entire family, it took on a whole new level of seriousness. Well, following our polite greetings, we sat down together in our small living room, and they emotionally shared with us how their teenage daughter was pregnant. Well, in that moment, the room was full of fear, anger, regret, and a sense of hopelessness. What do you do when you don't know what to do? How do you bring hope and healing into what seems like a hopeless situation? Well, let me share a few things I've learned over the years. One, listen. You don't have to have all the answers. And even if you do, the best time for those may be later. The ministry of presence might be the most helpful thing you can offer in that moment. Just being present. You know, Galatians chapter 6, verse 2 tells us to carry each other's burdens. And in this way, you will fulfill the law of Christ, which is to love others as Christ has loved us. So we can offer a listening ear, a shoulder to cry on, and a compassionate heart. A time for good advice might come, but that does not need to be our first response. Second, pray. Prayer is a great way to carry another person's burden, and sometimes prayer is the only way we can help. James instructed us to confess our sins, or as the King James puts it, our faults to each other, and to pray for each other so that we may be healed. The earnest prayer of a righteous person has great power and produces wonderful results. Prayer is a powerful thing. And then number 3, share hope. Remind those who are in despair that there is still hope, that this is not the end of their story. Yes, they may have written their story differently, but God will rewrite our stories for His glory. So encourage them with scriptures like Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. And Isaiah 40, verse 31, but those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not faint. What do you do when you don't know what to do? Well, you trust the Lord to lead you and redeem the situation. I love what Paul said in Romans 8:28. And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him, who have been called according to His purpose. You know, the other day I was scrolling through Facebook and a beautiful young lady just about to go into 8th grade popped up on the screen. Yep, you guessed right. And in that moment, I was reminded of how all things God works for the good of those who love Him. So the next time you don't know what to do, listen, pray, and share hope. Now go make it a great day.